So when children and teens have been groomed and manipulated, they may not self-identify as victims.
Now at 10, the online dangers of minors interacting with adults and what parents need to look out for. Plus, tariffs and stocks, what experts say will be the outcome of the new tariff package and the White House's response to recession fears.
Dry conditions have returned, but they won't stick around in your first alert forecast.
Live from the WMTV studios, 15 News at 10 starts now.
Thanks so much for joining us at 10. I'm Mark McPherson. A Beaver Dam teen will be back in Wisconsin tomorrow after going missing for about 2 months. This after Sophia Franklin was found safe and 40-year-old Gary Day was arrested. WMTV's Shana Najawan talked with the Canopy Center. That's a child abuse treatment and prevention agency. Shana, what'd you learn today?
It's important to note that Canopy Center is not directly connected to this specific case, but they tell me that children, including 16 and 17-year-olds, cannot consent to exploitative relationships. But experts say they don't always recognize themselves as victims.
We're feeling relieved, ready to take the next steps.
Sophia Franklin's mother says it's a miracle her daughter was found on her birthday after being lured online.
Just so thankful that she's no longer with this man who has not only violated our family's privacy, but totally manipulated our daughter.
The 17-year-old met 40-year-old Gary Day on the internet.
You can do all the right things. All the right things. We had set boundaries and parameters, and yet this still happened.
Online relationships that kids are forming certainly need to be watched, and that can be challenging at all ages.
Megan Henry with the Canopy Center, a child abuse prevention agency, says even teens don't always recognize abuse.
They may feel like they were willing participants in this, but that's not how it works with children.
Henry says minors cannot consent to exploitative relationships.
They were absolutely put in a circumstance where there was a power dynamic at play, and they were vulnerable to that.
She adds that trusting, non-judgmental adults can help teens process red flags.
As an adult who maybe is better able to identify safety risks and hazards,
and escape dangerous situations.
Even though sometimes teens are putting themselves in those situations, I think their gut is still telling them that it's not right.
Let's stop giving our kids phones and tablets to pacify them and start parenting again. And we were trying to do that. We definitely were trying to do that. But even our best efforts failed because there's this lure that there's something better out there on the internet. And that's where the real predators lie.
Henry says not all therapy methods work for every child. They provide individualized assistance for those kids facing abuse and maintain contact with them, which she says is important in preventing future re-victimization. Live in the studio, Shana Najawan, WMTV 15 News.
Shana, thank you. Canopy Center is implementing screening tools for children older than 10 to identify risk factors and provide early interventions. This is a story WMTV has been covering for months, and our morning show was first to be live in Beaver Dam this morning when the news broke, talking to neighbors to get reaction, police as well. So we want to walk you through a brief timeline of how we got here. On July 29th of last year, Gary Day started talking with Sophia Franklin and then took her to Arkansas. On December 10th, law enforcement found Sophia there and she was returned to her family. Then in January, Sophia starts talking once again to Gary Day online. And then, of course, on February 2nd, she was last seen by her family. It was only February 3rd, however, that Day was spotted at Sophia's house on surveillance video. An Amber Alert was then issued for a missing and what we found out was pregnant teen. Then on February 4th, officials believe that Day may have changed license plates on the car after they broadcast this picture. Law enforcement in multiple states have been looking for them for about 2 months. And of course, last night is when Day was arrested. Now, we have a lot more on this timeline. For a full list, you can head to our website, WMTV15news.com. There you will find a more in-depth timeline. Amber Alerts for Sophia were active in 3 states. The 3 you see there in red, they were Wisconsin, Arkansas, and then Missouri, where the car was spotted as well. We found out today somehow she and Day ended up in Idaho at some point where their car broke down. The pair then hitchhiked to Nebraska ending up in Omaha. As far as Day, he's currently still in jail in Nebraska. He is facing several felony charges in Wisconsin, including abduction of a child and child enticement. Homeland Security is running the investigation moving forward. 15 News has reached out to them to see what the next steps are. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. Quickly shifting gears just into our newsroom tonight, the Wisconsin Dells Police Department says 2 boaters are missing after their boat capsized earlier today in the Wisconsin River. 3 people actually went into the water. 1 was able to swim to shore. The search for the other 2 has been suspended. The 2 went, for the night at least, the 2 went under the water south of the Kilbourne Dam near where their boat capsized. Well, it's a beautiful day weather-wise here in Madison. First Alert meteorologist Brian Dukes joins us now with a look at our forecast as we're getting closer to the weekend.
Yeah, we are, and we're hopeful that the weather we had today will stick around, and I think it will at least for part of the weekend. You'll notice we're looking at pretty clear skies tonight, so it will be a chilly one and a calm one. A First Alert that if you park outside, you may have to do a little scraping of the windshield tomorrow morning. Overnight lows a couple degrees on either side of freezing, so there will be the potential of some frost early Friday, and also quite a bit of sunshine before the clouds return, and so do the rain chances. Kind of chilly though now that we are into the month of April. Did a little digging and number crunching for the month of March. We actually ended up close to 5 degrees above normal, part of a longer trend since 1970 of warming in the month of March that averages close to 4 degrees. Of course, I am tracking some rain. We'll take a closer look at that for the weekend coming up in your full First Alert forecast.
Dukes, thank you. A Wisconsin System school participated in a record-setting medical registration event this Thursday. Led by their athletic department, UW-Platteville registered about 700 people for the National Marrow Donor Program. The Pioneers set a record for the largest single-day registration on college campus. They shattered the record. With just a quick swipe of the mouth, participants joined a registry that helps people find possible blood stem cell donors for life-saving treatments. Athletic Director Mike Knipe says he was blown away by the immense turnout.
I think that generosity is contagious. And I think that when people have the ability to be generous with their time and they see others doing that, and a whole community can come together real quick. And that's what we got to see on campus.
Since 1987, the National Bone Marrow Donor Program has helped more than 130,000 people receive cell therapy. We want to take a look at stock markets tonight. The Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ saw its biggest drop in 5 years, just a day after President Donald Trump announced his new tariff plan. The drop comes as economic experts fear the tariff trade war could trigger another recession. But the Trump administration is pushing back on those claims. Vice President J.D. Vance told Fox News it's a big change, but a necessary one. The Commerce Secretary told CNBC the plan will prompt countries to reconsider their own tariff policies. And White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt tried to calm investors before today's opening bell.
Trust in President Trump. This is a president who is doubling down on his proven economic formula from his first term. We saw wages increase. We saw inflation come down. We had a Trump energy boom. We had the largest tax cuts in history. And that's exactly what the president intends to do.
J.P. Morgan's chief economist said that if President Trump keeps the tariffs in place, the U.S. will likely enter a recession this year. Ford is now offering employee pricing on many of its cars to all its customers in the U.S. The new initiative went into effect today and will run through June 2nd. There is a catch, however. Specialty Mustangs, Broncos, Raptors, as well as the 2025 Expedition and Navigator SUVs aren't eligible for employee pricing. The Trump administration is considering freezing more than $500 million in grants to Brown University. A White House official says the freeze is because of the university's response to anti-Semitism. The Trump administration is also reviewing the school's DEI policies. The move comes after Brown University assistant professor was deported last month to Lebanon. Next at 10, a program that helps out the homeless is running out of money in Madison.
We're definitely in a time crunch at this point, yeah.
The next steps for Madison's Dairy Drive program.
Rain chances return as we head towards the weekend. Details in your First Alert forecast.
New at 10, the first ever City of Madison sanctioned campground looks to be coming to an end. The property currently houses about 30 people experiencing homelessness in tiny shelters. As WMTV's Tim Elliott tells us, the money for the program has simply run out.
For the past 4 years, this City of Madison owned property on Dairy Drive has been home for a lot of people with nowhere to go.
I've met a lot of people who were experiencing homelessness, and really it could be anybody.
The community is made up of 30 of these 8x8 tiny homes made by a company called Pallet. Each unit has electricity, heat, and air conditioning.
We make sure that we're listening to what they need.
Brenda Conkle is the executive director of Madison Street Medicine. The nonprofit organization has run this campground since it was built in 2021.
Do laundry twice a week. We have a van. We take people to food pantries and to go get meals out in the community.
But now the federal money to fund this place is no more. The city says the plan is to shut this campground down by the end of the year.
The money that is needed to keep it going is gone, and so we need to prepare for the end of it.
Community Development Director Jim O'Keefe says the campground came into existence in response to this, an illegal tent city that popped up in Rindell Park on Madison's east side in 2021.
It's scary.
For months, this public park was plagued with problems from drugs to violence. So the city stepped in and created the Dairy Drive location and shut down the tent city.
At first, when everybody moved right from Rindell Park, the culture of Rindell Park moved from Rindell Park to the camp. And we did struggle a little bit in the beginning.
After those early bumps in the road, the city says everything here has gone pretty smoothly.
It's shown what can happen when resources are available to provide this kind of service.
The City of Madison believes this Dairy Drive location has been a success over the past 4 years. They say of the 97 people who have called this place home at one point, 62 of them have now found permanent housing.
What has made this most successful is the ability to provide a high level of on-site services.
The campground is being funded by COVID-era federal dollars. So far, $2.5 million has been spent to keep this place up and running. $1 million of that was spent up front to set up the campground. It costs roughly $65,000 a month to maintain.
And I think the model works really well. It is a relatively expensive model, but it works.
Conkle is not giving up hope just yet. She says the campground could continue if money comes in from somewhere, but at this point, that's unlikely.
I think it's a real shame, and we've seen really great results. The people who we have served really deserve these types of services.
This community is still home for some people, but they may need to find somewhere else to go in the near future. In Madison, Tim Elliott, WMTV 15 News.
Now, the City of Madison is currently building a men's shelter on Bartolon Drive that will accommodate roughly 250 people. That facility is slated to be built by the end of the year. Multiple people are dead after tornadoes and severe storms broke out across the central U.S. last night. The National Weather Service issued nearly 300 tornado warnings across 15 states since yesterday morning. Here's some video of some of those tornadoes. More than 5 million people in Tennessee, Kentucky, Mississippi, and Arkansas were under a tornado watch today. Dozens of tornadoes that managed to touch down. There's another one, destroyed property and left towns unrecognizable.
Tornado came through and just plowed about everything in its path.
That's my home, so that was very devastating, and to see the roof off.
We was hoping it missed our house, but as soon as we drove up, we realized we have nothing left.
Out of the 7 people who have been reportedly killed, 5 were in Tennessee, 1 in Missouri, 1 in Indiana. And if you want to learn more about spotting storms, Rock County Emergency Management is sponsoring a storm spotter training class this upcoming Monday. The details right there on your screen. It's from 6 to 8 p.m. at Orfordville Village Hall. It's free to attend and it's open to anyone. You don't need to register.
And now, your first alert forecast from 15 News.
And next week is Severe Weather Awareness Week. We will have special coverage on that as we head through the week. Fortunately, not looking at any severe weather anytime soon, but we will be tracking some rain chances as early as tomorrow afternoon and evening, maybe lingering into early this weekend. Another isolated chance, we'll call it, as we head into early next week. So a little bit active as we head through the end of the week and weekend. And if you are thinking of heading to the Sky Carp game tomorrow evening, Jocko and I will be live there. Well, we could be talking not only some cloud cover, but some showers working in as we head a little deeper into that game. And it'll be a little cool. Temperatures from the mid and upper 40s into the low 40s as we head through sunset tomorrow evening. So something to keep in mind as we wrap up the week. Right now, 35 degrees in Madison. Dew point is at 31. The winds are out of the north at 3 miles an hour. It's one of those nights where the favorite cool spots are already dropping off. It's already 30 in Montello, 31 in Baraboo, but still hanging on the 40 right now in Monroe. Widening the map out, you'll see that cooler air is coming out of Canada. With the clear skies overhead, we will see those conditions by tomorrow morning. Bigger picture shows the flooding through the Ohio River Valley. Severe weather, at least for now, is kind of winding down. Earlier impacts around the Memphis area. It will fire up again tomorrow along this boundary that just isn't really moving too far to the south to impact us. So we will stick with the clear skies tonight and sunshine tomorrow morning. Then the clouds return around midday, and by tomorrow afternoon and evening, here's 3, 4, 5 o'clock. We start to get into the chance of some of those showers, especially Madison southward, everyone into tomorrow night. Here's 10 o'clock, and then a lingering shower first thing Saturday before things start to push out, and we get into some sunshine for Saturday afternoon, and definitely some sunshine as we head through the day on Sunday. Overnight tonight, 34 degrees, decreasing clouds out there, increasing clouds tomorrow with an afternoon and evening shower potential, 49 to 51 on Saturday. Looks good on Sunday, cold Monday, 38 and snow showers. Temperatures will warm nicely though, 30s to the 40s to the 50s, eventually into the 60s by the end of next week as we get a few more shower chances in there as well.
I don't understand what Monday's problem is.
Whew, I'm not looking forward to it. That's all that I know.
Ugh, all right.
Yep.
Dukes, thank you. Well, here's something to smile about. This is pretty funny. A family in D.C. were taking photos of their kids with cherry blossoms in the background when they were photobombed by President Barack Obama. Obama was taking a morning walk in the Tidal Basin. There you see him there. It's a photo of the family, and they say it's now a family heirloom.
It means so much, not only to me, but to them as they grow older. It builds a sort of confidence, look at this, I have something to share. To see the beauty in life and to see not only people, but things and nature of every day. Because it could be crazy what's going around us, but let's appreciate the little things.
And Obama actually reposted it on his Instagram story with the caption, "Preston Bell, I hope you enjoyed Peak Bloom. My bad for stepping into the shot."
He looks so focused,
That's super
deep
cool.
in thought.
Yeah, right? Very cool.
Well, there's good news for people who want to eat 12 inches worth of nachos.
Who doesn't?
Right? Who doesn't? Subway is adding foot-long nachos to its Sidekicks menu. The sandwich chain has joined forces with Doritos for this dish. It features nacho cheese-flavored Doritos with cheddar cheese, jalapenos, tomatoes, red onion, and a chipotle sauce. Customers who need a little more can add chicken or steak to the platter.
Wow.
Looks good.
Yeah, foot-long cookies, now foot-long nachos.
Got it all.
I like it.
A Milwaukee artist known for his viral woodworking has landed the biggest job of his life. I saw this on TikTok today. It's so cool. He's creating 32 reclaimed wood art pieces for the upcoming 2025 NFL draft in Green Bay. What makes his work so unique is that he makes them from materials that he salvaged from the sides of roads or alleys in Milwaukee. The logos he designs will line the walkways of the draft theater.
The NFL cold reached out to me. They found my work online and said they had a perfect project in mind for the draft being in Green Bay this year. And they had my art already in mind.
And it turns out his grandfather was actually drafted by the Buffalo Bills back in 1944, so he says it has an extra special connection to the NFL.
Jeez.
Some people are so creative.
Cool.
Yeah,
super cool.
People have to keep an eye out for that when they're going.
Definitely. Yeah. Coming up next in sports, Giannis makes history with a crazy triple-double stat line out in Philly. Plus, Doc Rivers continues to climb the all-time wins list, passing one of the greatest to ever do it. Highlights and more after the break.
And here's a look at tonight's winning numbers. Good luck.
from 15 News.
The Brewers look to make it 3 straight wins as they welcome the Reds to town. Both teams came in sporting 2-4 records at the beginning of this 4-game series up at AmFam. And the Crew welcomed some national champs to the house. UW women's hockey took the trophy up to AmFam Fields. Sarah Janevitz threw out the first pitch. And besides the Badgers, this one was a pretty tame affair. Bottom of the 4th was when you saw the only run, 2 on for Sal Freelick and into right for the single to score Jackson Trujillo, 1-0 Crew. And then more from Trujillo, top of the 9th. Got a little of a diving catch in the outfield. Anyone's great. And that's all she wrote in this one. Brewers win 1-0. These teams will play again on Friday at 7:10. And in the NBA, the Bucks on the road in the city of brotherly love. Giannis went off in this one. Off the miss here in the first. Lining one up, just daring him to shoot from deep. 17-11 Sixers. In the second, off Phillies turnover, Giannis and company off to the races. The behind-the-back pass here to Kevin Porter Jr. for the flush. So nice, we gotta see it twice. And like I said, Giannis stellar in this one. Here he is finishing at the rim to put Milwaukee up. He finished with 35 points, a career-high 20 assists and 17 rebounds. He's the first NBA player ever with that stat line. The Bucks win at 126-113, but the win Doc Rivers moves into 7th place all-time in career coaching wins, moving past Phil Jackson. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to hit the diamond, some Sky Carp baseball after the break. The Sky Carp opened their season in Boyd on Friday at 6:35 against the South Bend Cubs. Jocko and Dukes will be live at 4, 5, and 6 tomorrow. But before that, Jocko caught up with the Sky Carp president, Zach Brockman, and you could say these guys are both pretty jazzed for Friday to get here.
Well, thank you very much. I am standing by with a very special guest. It's Zach Brockman, the president of the Beloit Sky Carp. And can you believe it? Baseball is back, and it will be back on Friday.
Yeah.
With the Beloit Sky Carp.
I know.
Against the Cubs of South Bend.
I know.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited. It's been too long.
Yeah.
It's been way too long for baseball. Only a couple more days. It's going to be 71 degrees on Friday. Can you believe that?
No.
Usually it's like 35, for our opening day, but now
it's guaranteed too, isn't it?
It's guaranteed.
Yes.
It's always sunny at the ballpark,
right.
too.
It's true. And it always feels great to be back at the ballpark, though,
yes.
doesn't it? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's going to be a great day at ABC Supply Stadium.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have Rudy Rudiger.
Yep.
Out. We're doing a movie showing, the day before, too, for the Boyd International Film Festival, which is going to be awesome. He's going to be out throwing out a first pitch, and it's opening day. I mean, who doesn't love to, try out our new concession items and all that fun stuff and see everyone that you haven't seen in 6 months.
It's going to be great. And it's going to be a great year as well. You got plenty of surprises on hand.
Oh, yeah. We're bringing back the drone show due to popular demand. That's going to be on May 24th. And then pretty much starting in June, we're going to have all of our, great promotions starting up on Fridays and, Saturdays. Fireworks are coming back. We're doing Princess Night again. We're doing all the fun things, Dino Night, all those cool promotions.
And August 1st, probably the greatest night of all time.
Yes, exactly. I was going to say that. That is the Mike Jocko bobblehead. One of a kind, collector's item already. It looks exactly like you.
And I feel bad for that bobblehead. Looking forward to seeing you
too,
Friday
man.
on opening day. Zach
Thank
Brockman,
you.
I appreciate you, and we'll throw it back to you.
Well, thank you, Jocko. WMTV is a proud partner with our sister station in Rockford to bring all 65 Sky Carp games to viewers both north and south of the state line. You can find those on air on Outlaw TV on 15.3 or check out your local listings through your cable provider. That's Look at Sports. We'll be right back.
All right, clear skies moving in for tonight. A frosty one as you head out the door tomorrow morning. Then the clouds return and some showers by the evening. Weekend does not look horrible. There will be some clouds and a little cool, and not a great start to next week as we start off into the 30s and snow showers on Monday.
Got to bundle up out there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being with us. We hope you have a great night.
15 News is streaming on all your devices. Powered by TDS. 15 News. Connected to you.